Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. Today we're going to work on a little blues progression that I like to play. This is movable into a bunch of different keys, but we're going to start out in the key of A, and I'll run through it and show you what my fingers are doing, and then I'll explain how you can move it into different keys. But to start out, I'll play it once just to give you a sense of what it sounds like, and then I'll jump into it. So it sounds like this. Etc. So it's a 12-bar blues progression, and it kind of uses the same little left-hand configuration in a couple different places, but once you learn it in one spot, you can really use it all over the fretboard. So what it involves is getting this. It's all, the first little run is all on the G and D strings, your lowest two sets of strings. And it starts out with an A chord. First, it's just an A double stop. It says the second fret on the G string, the second fret on the D string, right on top of each other. Play through both sets of strings. And if you're having trouble getting both of those sets of strings with one finger, try to aim right. You know, you got two G strings and two D strings. Aim for the lower G string and the higher D string. So just kind of aim for the spot in between them, and sometimes that will let you get a cleaner sound out of it. If you're still having trouble, some people can get two fingers into that slot, into that space. I can't. But if that works for you, great. And then you might have to adjust. If you're using two fingers, you'll have to use your ring and pinky to do some of the other fretting, where I'll be doing with my middle and ring finger. So that's our first set of notes, and let's just get the pattern down while we're here. And so what I'm doing is, and it's kind of like a chop chord. There's a lesson over at mandolessons.com that's got chop chords, that's on chop chords. And it'll sort of show you the idea behind getting this sort of ringing and then muted sound. The basic concept is you're pushing down the frets to get the sound, and then you're just releasing tension on the strings with your left hand to sort of mute the strings and give it a little bit of percussiveness. So you can hold it as long as you want, and then when it comes time to release the tension, the note stops. So let's try to just emulate this sound, and if you're having trouble with the rhythmic muting, then check out the chop lesson on mandolessons.com. But let's just try to... So that's the rhythm. I'll play it in context of the notes to give it a little more definition. So that's the idea, and it's, so you're getting, and then you're going through the strings, letting out tension with your left hand, gives you that mute, and then, oops, sorry. And then, so that second chord is second fret on the G string still, and fourth fret on the D string with your middle finger, or if you're using two fingers for your A chord, then it's going to be your ring finger. But for me, it's my middle. back and forth between those two, it sounds like this. Etc. You probably figured this out by now, but we're just totally leaving off the A and E strings at this point in the game. But we'll get to those in a second. So the third chord is 2nd fret still on your G string and the G on your D string, which is the 5th fret. Nice crunchy chord, dominant 7. And so adding that to the mix, it sounds like this. That's the idea. So that's the first chord. That's kind of a little riff to play over an A chord, or to use as an A chord. You know, you could play this while someone is soloing. It's a little more interesting than just playing an A7 chord. But it's really up to you, and figure out what the music calls for, and it's just another tool to have in your bag. Going on to the next chord, the next chord we're going to is the same idea, just starting with the open D string. And now we're focusing on the two middle sets of strings, the D and the A strings, for this this progression. So the first chord is just D and A open, and then open D, 2nd fret on the A string. Third chord is open D, 3rd fret on the A string. So we have, playing all those together, it's first chord, 2nd chord, 3rd chord, 2nd chord, 1st chord. So you still have that same movement like you do with the A of, we're just going up to, and it takes a little bit different muting technique. So what I'm doing, let's see, what am I doing? I guess I'm coming back down with my right hand. And a little bit with my left hand too. So one way is to kind of just drop your hand back down on the strings. Gives it that same sort of feeling, and I guess you could do that with your. It's a little more awkward there for me for some reason, but you can also do it with your left hand on some of those. So like hitting that string, then dropping your left hand on the strings, not pushing down hard, but just muting the strings. And it kind of gets awkward when you get to that 3rd chord. But you can use your higher fingers to get that. Whichever one works for you. So let's put those two sets of chords together. It sounds like this. Two more times. Here we go, switch. Back to A. So the progression there so far is we're kind of doing if you think of right to there, those 4 kind of chord movements. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th is coming back down. If you think of that as one time through a phrase or an idea, then you're doing it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then right from that chord, that 2nd fret on the A, 4th on the D, you're switching right up to the open strings. So, and then that's once, So it's kind of 4 on the A, 2 on the D, 4 back to the A. And A, I'm talking about the 2nd fret on the G string. And then our third and sort of final chord in this blues progression is the same as the A, just starting on the D string. So it's 2nd fret D, 2nd fret on the A string, so an E and a B, and then 2nd and 4th, which is E and C sharp, and then 2nd and 5th, E and D. So it's the same idea as the A chord, just over a string. So we'll add that into the mix. So it's going to go, sort of thinking about the progression, we've got 4 on the A, then 2 on the D, 2 on the A, and then you're going to do 1 on the E, then 1 on the D, then 1 on the A. So it'll sound like this. I'll play through it and count it out. So we're going to start with 4 on the A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. D, 1, 2, H, 1, 2, up to the E, 1, down to the D, just 1 here, back to A, just 1. And then we've got one last chord, but that's where we're up to for now. Sorry, that sounded a little weird. It's kind of hard to say that out loud while playing it. So let's do that one more time. I won't count along now for, see if we can just do it just with the music. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Top right there, and I added in that last chord just so you got a sense of what it sounds like, and it's back to an E chord, so it's kind of like doing, again, we're just using a different shape, and I'm using this shape. 4th fret on the G string is a B, 6th fret on the D string is a G sharp, and then 5th fret on the A string is a D natural. And that is an E dominant 7 chord. So we can just kind of wail on that at the end of the progression. So going kind of from the end, it would down to D, A, so I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whack. Just like that. Let's try that. Again. And I'm using all downstrokes. I feel like it kind of, it gives it a little more kind of pulse to do all down than, which I guess works as well, but I really find it sounds a little better and it feels a little better to go. And right there at the end, I'm just kind of going through the strings with my right hand while just loosely have my left hand on the fretboard to get that percussive smack. So that's the whole progression. I'll just play through it a couple times, and so you can get a hang of it, and then you'll have it. So thanks for watching. More lessons over at mandolessons.com. Currently trying to get away from advertising on my website, and would appreciate you checking out the Patreon page, which there's a link down in the description. Even if you pay 25 cents per lesson, it's $1 a month. My lessons will always be free, but if you got a little change to spare, I'd really appreciate it. We're on our way. We've deleted a couple ads already from the site. Trying to get rid of the YouTube ads, and then get rid of some more of the ads off the website, so I can just totally redesign it, and it'll be a lot cleaner and won't muddy things up, and you don't have to look at them. So anyway, back to the important stuff here. I'll play through it a couple times, and you'll be on your way. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to D. E chord. A. That's the top. Alright, so I just realized I didn't quite do the exact progression I was doing at the beginning of the video, so I'd just throw that at you here real quick. What I did was totally fine, but you can also just throw in this super simple thing you might have already figured out quicker than me on the draw, and figured out that I wasn't teaching what I originally played. But so rather than just go straight back down, you can add this little. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Same idea for the D string. Same idea for the E. Just thought I would add that real quick as another option. They both sound good, so do whichever one you like, mix them up, mix them together, it'll all sound good. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.